What's up, guys? Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles. Today I want to ask you this question. How much better is a Citi setup looking right now? I've been using the phrase, just give me the points, for a while to express a strategy that kind of gets rid of the fluff. This strategy just earns points and as cheaply as possible. It doesn't give me $10 a month on ride shares and food delivery services and ice cream trucks. It's a strategy that just gets you a massive amount of reward points and you get to decide how to use them. Nothing flashy, just a penny a point in a portal and a decent amount of transfer partners with minimal extras and really not a bunch of conditions. Well, guys, this is Citi. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why Citi might be the sleeping giant for travelers who just want what they want. They don't want to jump through a bunch of hoops, and they aren't worried about what credit card companies want to package as luxury travel and perks. Stick around to the end and I'll tell you why Wells Fargo and US Bank really do not make the cut here. Okay guys, so on this channel I make videos about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If that's something you are interested in, consider subscribing. Let's go over some pros with Citi, and afterwards I'll talk about why it's not all sunshine and rainbows. First off, let's make sure everyone knows some Citi application rules. Citi has some decent welcome offers, but as a general rule, you can only get the bonus on a card once every 48 months. So if you get a card today, even if you cancel it down the line, you're not eligible for another welcome offer for 48 months after your first card was opened. I've actually heard folks say that the time clock doesn't actually start until you hit the welcome bonus, but you get the idea. If you're interested in churning, you have a 48-month clock. There may also be a 865 rule where you can only apply for one Citi card every 8 days and not more than 2 cards in 65 days. Thankfully, Citi does not seem to mind how many cards they give you, so there are no maximums, at least none that I know of. But I have found Citi to be fairly sensitive to new accounts and a lot of inquiries. Before we get into earnings, let's talk about what these cards actually earn. They'll be earning Citi thank you points. Citi seems to be sort of tweaking the value of the cashback depending on which cards you hold, so I'll save that information for a different video. We're talking about a travel setup, and thank you points can be transferred out to partners. Now, this suite of partners really can't compete with Chase or Amex, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean you don't have a lot of great options. Citi has some hitters like Air France, KLM Flying Blue, Avianca Life Miles. They have Virgin Atlantic and Avios. And guys, if you aren't sure what you can do with these partners, check out my full catalog of Citi videos for some recommendations. I'll leave some links in the description also to those videos. Citi also has some harder to find programs like Turkish Miles and Smiles. The most underrated partner in the game is Choice Hotels, with Citi transferring to Choice at a 1-to-2 ratio. Now, let me say this. When I mention Choice Hotels, I'm not talking about the Roadway Inn or the O'Connell Lodge. No disrespect if that's your thing, but Choice has great properties like Radisson's, Radisson Blue, Cambria, and the Ascent Collection. There's some really good options there. As I write this script, I just received a text from the Cambria about my stay in a few days. Feel free to go back and pause that graphic to see all the properties. The transfer partner list is just very underrated in my opinion. Trust me when I say that you can kill the game with those Citi partners. So the partners are good. What about the cards? Let's first talk about the only card we need that actually carries an annual fee, and that's the Citi Strata Premier. This $95 card at the moment comes with a 60,000 thank you point bonus. Now, these bonuses change really often, so keep an eye out on current offers. I can't say enough great things about this card. So many of our ecosystems lack a grocery and gas category. Well, the Strata Premier earns 3x on dining, groceries, and gas/EV charging if you're fancy. The card also earns 10 times in the portal on hotels, car rentals, and attractions. So there are some opportunities there. It's the focal point of this whole system, and it's exactly what we're talking about when we say no frills, no extras, no hoops. That is, unless you count the $100 credit you get each year when you book a hotel through the Citi portal. That hotel does need to be at least $500 total, but I've used this perk and the card was credited instantly, and Well, it was that simple. Basically, it eliminates the annual fee, and there are some travel and purchase protections on the card, and the card has no foreign transaction fees. The card earns just one thank you point on everything else. Guys, it's simple and effective. Let's see what kind of support cards we have available. Well, next up is the old standby, the Chase, the Citi Double Cash. This card earns 2 times on everything, and more specifically, it earns a thank you point when you spend and another thank you point when you pay. Simple catch-all, and it has no annual fee, and it currently comes with a 20,000 thank you point bonus. Keep in mind though that this card does charge a fee for overseas purchases, so it's not recommended to use internationally. Not much to say about some of these cards, but remember, this is keeping with our theme here. Just give me the points. Next up, we have a card that has been a fan favorite since it hit the scene. The Citi Custom Cash is another no annual fee card with a 20,000 thank you point bonus. This one is maybe a little less simple. The card earns 5x thank you points on your biggest purchase category of spend each billing cycle, and it's up to $500. Let me make this real easy. Use this card for just one category. Take your pick from restaurants, gas, grocery stores, select travel, select transit, streaming services, drugstores, or home improvement stores. Use the card for just one category and it'll earn 5x each billing cycle, up to $500 to spend. Pro tip, this is a card you would want to consider having more than one. Again though, this one also has foreign transaction fees. The card will earn just 1x after the $500 or in other categories. So that's why we're just going to use it for one category each billing cycle. It seems like most folks use this for gas. So with just these 3 cards, we can do very well. But most of you will quickly realize that magic is possible when we start getting additional custom cash cards. There are folks that hold 2, 3, and even more of these. And that's when you're going to start seeing that 5x really racks up travel points. So you guys, for $95, you can really take advantage of the simplicity of Citi. So what are some cons with this setup? Well, data points suggest Citi customer service ranks somewhere at the bottom of just about every poll. And I don't know if you have anyone debating whether or not Citi has fairly bad to really bad customer service. Another con might be the fact that you can't get tons of bonuses with Citi like you can with Chase or Amex points. The 48th month rule really makes you stay honest. Finally, most of the cards have fees to use them internationally, so that could be a big deal for some. I do have one more very special pro tip for you guys. You can call Citi anytime and ask for a retention offer. Now, here's what I mean. The Citi Strata Premier, for example, you can call and Citi will very likely give you a $95 credit after you spend a certain amount of the card. That could also mean 10,000 thank you points after you spend a certain amount. And you can call them every year. You can also call and ask for one of these offers on a card that doesn't even have a fee. Yeah, that's right. Citi will give you 10,000 thank you points for a certain amount of spend. Now your mileage will vary on this. Check out my other videos on Citi and their transfer partners, and you'll be amazed at what's possible with just thank you points. And if you would like to support the channel, you can become a member for only $2.99 a month. Cancel that anytime. Members get priority responses and they get access to members only videos that I post on most weekends. You can become a member, binge watch all the member videos and cancel. I don't mind. If you have any ideas on how I can give members even more value, just let me know. Okay guys, with this era of extreme couponing and gigantic annual fees, how good is Citi looking right now? And I do want to mention, Luke, why doesn't US Bank or Wells Fargo come into play with this? Now listen, I think Wells Fargo has some amazing credit cards for very low fees. But the fact that they don't have an extensive suite of transfer partners right now puts them on the back burner, at least for me. And US Bank, I don't know what US Bank is doing right now, but they don't have transfer partners in the first place. They do have some great cashback cards, but right now for travelers, I don't think you should be focusing on US Bank at all. Guys, thanks for watching, and if you stayed all the way to the end, I definitely appreciate you.